Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I just finished my match against Mr. Montolio, and yeah, I just had some very very good draws, and you weren't really able to recover after those timely energy fluxes.
Yeah, energy fluxes are just an absolute beating versus me. I think the original dagger. I think it was in game three when you correct me if I'm wrong. Is when you hit me with that you demonic tutored and vampiric tutored, and you went and got the ancient grudge. That was just atrocious. Like I was battling through an energy flux, and then you got that, and I'm like, oh, great. And then
Yeah, I really like that
yeah,
play because I could sneak down the Snapcaster on attack, then target the Vamp, and then see what you were up to on your second main phase, and then choose my tutor target accordingly. And you ended up playing the Golem, so yeah, Ancient Grudge just seemed like the perfect nail in the coffin at that point.
Yeah, I mean, slogging through an energy flux is, I'm sure you know, Andreas, is, low probability as it is. And, when you're basically, your only out is to be hanging on a thread with a creature somehow and being able to pay for it. And they're very rare, but they're extremely satisfying wins when you pull them off. And yeah, it wasn't meant to be today.
Yeah, you
But
did have the Tolarian Academy though, so you actually did have some string of draws that could have won you especially game.
yeah, yeah, no, the academy was really big. I don't know if you noticed, I was being extremely judicious with my wasteland there, knowing that a wasteland from your side could come at some point, and it just wasn't worth me doing, wasting you out in hopes that I was going to be able to cast something and carry out a threat. Like I had a precursor going in my hand for a good portion of that game. I just couldn't actually get to cast it. So
Yeah.
I think I did get one out at one point in one of the games against you, but I know there was a time there when I had the academy that I wasn't able to pump one out. But anyways, it was a really good game, good match, and yeah, congrats to you.
Yeah, thanks. So that means I only have to win one match in the finals, which is obviously a very very big advantage. And you will be waiting for the winner of our following match, which is Mr. Brassman on the Jund mid-range deck against Cyrus on the PO deck. Cyrus that you absolutely slaughtered in round one.
Yeah, well, I think that was a little bit of variance on my side. It's not too often that that happens against PO, and I'm not sure who I'm cheering for here. Like it's they're both a bit of a stinker for me. I think the probability is whoever comes out of that pod is likely who you're going to end up facing. But then again, I am playing workshop, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I really like your sideboard plan, by the way. I'm going to tell you in person the wide ley lines. I like that plan a lot. It's a lot of variance. You can have some very bad draws in the mid game on the back of those ley lines, but in your opener, it's going to be just great against Cyrus. So you got that going for you. All right. Let me check if our players are ready, and if they are, we'll get to some action. All right. It seems like they are just figuring out a small issue. But so Andy, who do you like in this matchup? We have Cyrus. He's a master of chaining together spells, and then we have this new, fresh take on a kind of a hate deck, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I mean, I think PO is the stronger deck here. I feel like Brassman's deck might be a little bit too slow to combat PO, but I mean there are certain sequences in this deck that can win for Brassman. I believe he has two main deck null rods, which are
Yep.
incredibly strong in the opener. And not that I like Cindervine so much in this match, but I mean Brassman's on the play, drops down a turn one Cindervines. I mean that those add up. He's got
Yeah.
he's got mental missteps to be able to hit those tops, Sol Ring and Sensei's Divining Top. So it's possible, but I would say this is probably 70-30 in favor of PO. What about yourself,
Wow.
Andres?
70-30, that's a lot, but you're definitely right that he has some. I'll allow myself to call them modern cards. Chandra and Targot. Those are not going to do a whole lot of work against a
No.
combo deck that can finish the game in one turn. But I think feel like if he draws some of the tools you just mentioned, the Null Rod, he also have main deck Pyroblast alongside a couple of Ancient Grudges with Dark Confidant to keep the engine running. He has some good tools, but yeah, he's not playing blue, so he's just at a disadvantage from the start. I feel like in my match against him, I was able to chain together some blue spells, and that really just made the difference. But
Yeah.
But now
Thoughtseize
that
is also good here too. Thoughtseize
yeah,
is a strong card on the play.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just super excited to see how it shapes up. So our players are ready. Let's get down to the match. Welcome everyone. We have our players with a couple of fresh 7 cards. Andy won the die roll, which should be good. According to your prediction, he's behind from the start, so winning the die roll should even it up somewhat.
Yeah, they both actually have pretty decent openers here. I mean, the first thing that pops out to me is that Cyrus has got that library, which he's going to get a card off it for sure if he's on the draw. But of
Yep.
course, Andy does have the answer to that. So um, I would have to go in favor of Cyrus though in this opener. Like
Yeah,
like
I'm really excited to see how much work the Cinder Range can do because it will do some chip damage along the way, and then you have a disenchant waiting in the bank. Uh, let's see how that shapes up in this game.
yeah, it's unfortunate that Andy doesn't have a Mox to spur out his hand here. I mean, playing land go feels a little bit rough. Ooh, Lotus, nice draw.
Oh yeah. So now with the 2 best Moxen in his deck alongside a Lotus, he has.
Oh,
Wow.
there's
Okay.
there's there's time twister. So is he going to spin the wheel here, Andreas?
He only has to worry about 2 copies of Pyroblast in Brassman's deck, and
Oh,
he seems like a brave guy.
I say go for it.
Cyrus is going for it. No Pyroblast.
Oh wow, look at this. But he
Yeah,
found the pyroblast.
yeah, that's huge because then he actually gets to
Null
have the
rod.
turn and jam the Null Rod. Wow. What?
Jeez, what a beating.
Oh yeah,
That was Cyrus got himself a nice little hand there too. He just
for sure. He's basically
spur-
only weak to this 1-2 punch of Pyroblast plus Null Rod, which is exactly what Brassman's got going. This is exciting.
well, as you mentioned, this is how they're the brass man's going to get into this match here. Land himself an early null rod, and I mean he's got to get some pressure going right away. You drop
Yeah, then next turn he can
a dark
drop 2
confident
creatures.
and next turn and just hope he's losing mana crypt flips.
Cyrus is being patient to get to active library, and because Nullrod shut down his only blue source on the table, he couldn't even preordain. And then Thoughtseize, that actually buys a turn towards the library activation. That's kind of cool. So you can go Thoughtseize, then Dark Confidant, and then hopefully you keep the engine running.
Yep.
So Mr. Probasco has a game plan.
And I like it.
Oh yeah.
Null rod is definitely a card.
Yeah, it's the necessary evil. I mean, in a vacuum, PO is just so much more powerful than whatever the other decks in the format are doing. So you need tools like Nullrod to even the playing field.
Absolutely.
So what about now? Are you still patient?
I think you have to be. I don't know. Like I guess what he runs 2 main deck repeals. Perhaps
And 2 Hercules Recall.
the reality is that he is under a moderate amount of pressure here because of that mana crypt. I don't know that you can be patient, to be honest with you. The more I think about it, what do you think, Andreas?
Yeah, it's a matter of speed versus card advantage, and I like his choice of choosing speed, because for each turn you're giving the Junt deck, yeah, you might just, you know, uh, Andy might take advantage of that and close out the game faster. So it's not about card advantage at this point. It's about digging for the answer for Nullrod so you can go off. The Yawgmoth's Will, you have the Time Twister out there, so he has gas. He just needs to find the answer.
Yeah, I think that answer's actually flown the coop. That ancient grudge is going to be extremely good in an instant. Moving 2 artifacts here.
Yeah, the thing is, if Andy is proactive with the Ancient Grudge and just kills 2 artifacts, they'll just come back whenever the Yawgmoth's Will resolves after the repeal that he's most likely searching up now.
Hmm.
So if you just kill the 2 artifacts, they'll just be waiting in the graveyard for Yawgmoth's Will to go to town.
Yeah, that demonic tutor was a pretty good peel.
Oh yeah, a good
He's
peel into repeal.
so is he? Yeah, he is going to grudge here. It looks like,
Yeah,
which is very fortuitous that he's choosing to do that, and not sit on it. I mean, it's not really getting a lot better. So
yeah. But as I mentioned, the Yawgmoth's Will is
yep,
countering the effect of the Ancient Grudge.
true enough.
Lotus is a brick. And then let's see what he finds for his draw step. Wasteland is not a brick. Wasteland is pretty decent.
Yeah, that was most excellent. This window, Andy's been doing their Cyrus been doing pretty good on coin flips here, so these are going to catch up.
I didn't really keep track of that, but
They're
yeah. So,
catching up now because that Deathrite Shaman is not too far
but
away from being.
now his choice of killing the artifacts might benefit him because, well, is he passing the turn here?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Then he'll get drained from Deathrite down to 5. Yeah, okay, so then he'll be at 1. He has to win the Crypt Flip.
I don't think he can pass, can he? So
If
it
he
would be one,
repeals
two,
now,
three,
he
and he
can't do
can't.
anything if he repeals now.
That's
So that's
true. So he has to pass.
yeah.
He's
So
already put his ring.
the Grudge were definitely correct place a few turns ago.
Mm,
So he needs to win a Crypt Flip now to even have a shot.
that is a bad feeling when you got to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's gonna put him down to yeah. So he'll be on 1 life, as you said.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that Andy doesn't have to activate his death right here. He can just see what happens with the Crypt Flip and then mess up his Yawgmoth's Will instead. Because 1 and 3 is basically the same at this point.
For sure. All right.
You don't want to get next level here and Abrupt Decay or a Null Rod to negate a draw.
No.
But if he tapped differently for the Death Ride, if he tapped a Taiga for the Death Ride he just played, he would have been able to kill his own Null Rod there with Abrupt Decay and still keep up Death Ride activation. So he could have negated Cyrus a draw. It would have been kind of a cool. He did win the flip though, so we're still playing.
So he can pull. Can he pull this off?
Yeah,
I can't see his yard. He is going to Yogwill.
Let's see what
And
this brainstorm finds first. Finds a Sensei's Divining Top, a Detection Probe.
Top. Oh yeah, he's gonna go buck nutty here for sure.
Yeah, because he has 2 paradoxical outcomes out there. Andy's not able to disrupt him the way he wants to. He has Time Twister, double paradoxical outcome, preordain 3 pieces of artifact acceleration. Yeah, that's a lot of gas.
I was gonna say, is he got enough gumption to go back and try that time twister again with 2 red mana open? Technically 4.
Yeah, the thing is here, a PO is almost
Oh yeah.
free, almost mana neutral, so he can just
1, 2, 3. So he's gonna have 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that he can draw, right? He's got three fast mana in the yard, 1 in his hand plus top. So that's going to put him up to 7. He's going to be able to recycle that twice, as you said, because he's got the Sapphire.
Andy can exile the second paradoxical outcome. Let's see. Okay.
That was pretty good.
That's a cool play.
Yeah.
Except you're getting repealed from the graveyard in response.
That would be pretty nifty.
And he has the blue mana to play around with that because he has a pedal on the stack and even a Sapphire in the yard.
He's got the Sapphire.
Yeah.
The Sapphire is the key.
Yeah.
Nice play.
Yeah, so the Yawgmoth's Will did end up, in the end, after a 1 mana Crypt Flip that was crucial, end up countering the Ancient Grudge, but it still put him in a tough spot. He needed to win that flip.
I'm not going to lie to you, Andreas, and I don't know why I get surprised by this deck. I've been beaten up so badly by it in this exact spot where you're so close to lethal, but I did
Yep.
not think he was going to get out of that.
Yeah, the deck is just super resilient. One play I noticed is that Cyrus decided to tutor for Repeal, which is a 3-mana answer for Null Rod,
Instead of
where he could
Hertz.
have found the Herx, which is a 2-mana
Yep.
answer. So yeah, I'm gonna ask him about that if we get on commentary together, because it didn't feel like the one draw would be essential compared to the mana cost. So yeah, he
It's
finishes the game off with the lethal generals now, and so yeah, he does the bullet.
That's the greed, Andreas. It's the greed, that extra
Yeah,
card.
I mean, I like drawing cards as well.
You know, I find that a bizarre inclusion, that severe resistance.
Yeah, it's I don't, maybe he just figured that he wanted I don't know, which other decks are you going to use that against? I guess.
I don't know. But you don't really see. I guess in lands, I've seen legacy lands side in spheres, but in
Yeah,
vintage, not really. I almost wonder if Chalice of the Void might be better or something that you can cast a little easier. But
yeah,
because from what I can see, Sphere Resistant looks like it hurts Andy's deck pretty badly.
yeah. I mean, I get why you would want a permanent hate card in the sideboard for this matchup, but the thing is that Cyrus is going to be leaning on Hercule's Recall because of Null Rod.
Yep.
So I would have put an enchantment or a creature, disruptive creature out there to make sure that I don't get caught by the same disruption he's going to be looking for anyway.
Yeah, like a Stony Silence is a lot better, and he does have the death rates,
Yeah, he would need to
but of course that's a
play a little around
lot,
with them. Yeah.
lot, lot more inconsistent.
So this is
But
pretty cool. Double Thoughtseize plus Dark Confidant on turn 1.
yeah, that's scary. I'll
He's
reserve
just
my judgment. I'll reserve my judgment until I see him get there. But it's a pretty powerful start.
yeah, and he even, because there were 3 Force of Wills, he had to take the Preordain with the first Thoughtseize and then actually let the Dark Confidant get countered and then Thoughtseize again to kind of, yeah, he's basically just putting both players on no resources and hope that the Tarmogoyf gets there.
Mm,
It's kind of interesting. It's not what you see every day in Vintage.
no, my experience is that the beaters rarely get there. Like an example would be when I'm playing Dredge. Hollow ones, I rarely bring them in against PO. They're
Yeah,
just non-effectual.
yeah. I played a lot of Dredge, and I had the hollow ones in the main deck. I'll always board them out because it's just not realistic to get there.
Yeah.
Ancient Grudge was a great draw in this spot because, and oh
Yeah.
wow.
Cindervines.
So there we go.
Well, that's a real clock.
Yep. Tormagov is up to a 5/6, putting Cyrus to 14, and then deploying the Cindervines to, yeah, add some chip damage.
Yeah, well, Cyrus's hand here is really lousy.
Being forced to cast a Force of Will on turn 1 and getting double Thoughtseize, yeah, that's just what happens.
Yeah, well, I think we talked a little bit earlier that Thoughtseize was going to be a player in this.
Yep.
It does seem good.
Wow, what a draw.
Ooh, Lord, yeah, that's a nice one.
Do you play out the Opal?
Yeah,
Cyrus says no.
why not? They worried about
I
it.
think
Worried about a damage.
he only has so much life to play with, so I guess
But
that's the
it's kind of integral to his him winning, though. He needs to to get those into play. All right, I'm going to go out on a ledge here, Andreas. This is looking rough. This is not looking winnable here for Cyrus.
no. He needs to finish the game right here, right now, because if he passes the turn, well, actually, that Goif just got reset, so he actually has some time to play around with. I totally forgot that it wasn't just a static 5/6 beater at that point. It's just a 1/2 now.
he can get well, I guess you can't do much. I guess you play another Cindervines here. Double Cindervines is just atrocious.
Yeah.
Should he not have played a fetch land there
Yeah,
first?
that was definitely a misclick. I'm not gonna say misplay. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. A misclick for sure.
Cindervines, folks. Look at that.
Yeah,
Holy
when you have
catfish.
two out, it's like it's like a Kambal. I love that card.
Yeah,
Really, really punishes the spell
it
heavy
does.
decks.
For sure. Yeah, this is great.
So let's see. What if he had fetched last turn? Then Cyrus would be at 5. Then
Yeah, I think it would have
he could
got
also
there.
do some shenanigans here, like
Yeah,
death right, misstep your own death right,
yeah, I
and
would.
yeah, because what's Cyrus gonna do?
Right. The reality is Andy's sitting over there on the other side of the table, and he's realizing that there's really nothing Cyrus can do.
Yeah,
I don't think he's feeling pressured to do it, but yeah, there would have been style points for sure for finishing him off that way.
I guess he was afraid of repeal, but if Cyrus repeals, he's down to 2 and can't play any more spells. Yeah, that's just over.
Anything with the other
So
Cindervines, yeah.
so we get to have
Well
a
done,
game
Andy.
3. We get to have a game 3, but the thing is that Cyrus will be on the play, and that favors him heavily because the only interaction Brassman has available is 4 copies of Mental Misstep when on the draw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just what you get for not running Force Will, I guess.
All right, a couple null rods and a sphere.
Yep. So I guess he's basically forcing Andy to wasteland here.
Yeah, and I think Andy has to do it.
Yep. And he drew his second land, so that means that next turn he can have Pyroblast up, and then the turn after that he can start deploying these hateful permanents. And Cyrus needs some
Jeez,
action.
this is already looking like a tough spot for Cyrus.
Yeah, he needs to do the old cycle repeal after seeing a hand with so many haymakers. Oh, okay, he's not going to do that. Okay, well, strip mine even. I don't strip mine here. I just play my.
Yeah, I'm the same. You get that Pyroblast up.
He is going for the mana denial strategy.
I don't know about that. I think Andy is in a position here where he really needs to be getting his proactive play online, and
Yeah,
he's not really going to be able to out mana Cyrus here. He needs to get that null rod on.
yeah. I just didn't find it believable that that one mana source that he was able to remove would make Cyrus unable to do stuff.
I might have been more incentivized to strip mine there, Andreas, if the Sapphire wasn't in play.
Yeah, I mean, him playing out the jewelry. I don't know if that should make you more or less likely to have mana sources in your hand or be. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But this is interesting. Did he see the Pyroblast when he probed? I guess he did, yeah.
Yep.
Because repealing your own Sapphire is mana neutral, so but you build up Storm, and then you can Desire for 4.
That's not too bad. I've won with less.
And you have the Tendrils in hand, so repeal, is that a good one? Yeah, you actually have 1 mana to spare here. So you
Yeah,
can
I
even
like.
repeal into a new Mox, and then all of a sudden it's a Might Desire for 6.
Yeah, that's crazy good here. Oh, folks, what an exciting way
Yep.
to waddle into game 3 here. This is
Here we go, Might Desire for 6.
All right, baby. Let's go.
6 is a good number for getting the job done.
Preordain's good. Mana Crypt is okay. Top. Can he find a PO? Dig was solid.
Yeah.
That's going to do it. I think that's pretty good, Andreas.
Yeah, that should be good. Black Lotus is gone though, so but right now he's basically looking for just black mana to finish the job.
Mm-hmm. This should do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. PO. So he needs a blue source here.
Mox Opal would be great.
He should have a reasonable. Ooh, he did find a blue land. He hasn't played a land yet, right?
He has played a land, I think.
Okay.
So he basically needs to find an opal in the top 3, so that would allow him to keep going. It looks like he didn't. So he actually has to pass the turn here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you play out the null rod here, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. My God,
Oh, he had the Forster Will on top. Oh, that's sweet.
I would be having palpitations right there. My
Yeah,
God.
so now he gets to dig deeper with Night's Whisper and then look with top. He gets to see a lot of cards here.
Yeah, this should be. I think he's got a pretty. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. Jeez.
Yeah.
PO is such a resilient deck.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Well, it looks like I'm off to the salt mines here to go off and battle PO again.
Oh yeah, it was kind of interesting this game whether you try and strip mine and get lucky or you develop your own mana. That's definitely one of the important decisions of Rashman in that game, because if he decides to not strip mine, he'll have his Null Rod a turn earlier. He would have been able to disrupt with Pyroblast a turn earlier. It's just I'm not sure what the right line is. I guess you just smelt blood in the water and tried to get lucky.
Yeah, I have a tendency to say toward your line there. I think that him sitting back in a Pyroblast was very reasonable given that board state. You know, there was a Mox Sapphire and Opal in play already. I don't think he was going to be able to stunt him. I probably would have held the Pyroblast up and slammed the rod. Might have been a game changer for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just the charm of Vintage. These small decisions that ends up either winning or losing a game. I just love those small puzzles.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, you have to get ready for your next match, and I'll be looking, and hopefully, a strong contester comes out to play me in the finals. So good luck, Andy, and see you guys after the break.
All right, thanks very much.